The 1850s marked a turning point in history. The Industrial Revolution was transforming both Europe and America. The first transatlantic telegraph cable was being laid. Photography was capturing faces for posterity, and Charles Darwin was preparing to publish his groundbreaking work on the origin of species. In America, tensions were building as the nation moved inexorably towards civil war, with slavery and states' rights threatening to tear the country apart. It was in this age of rapid change that chess was experiencing its own romantic era. In elegant European cafes and American salons alike, masters weren't just competing, they were creating art. And into this world stepped a young American who would revolutionize the game forever. Paul Charles Morphy was born on June 22, 1837 in New Orleans, where French Creole culture flourished alongside American ambition. His father, Alonzo Morphy, of Spanish and Irish ancestry, was a lawyer who rose to become a Louisiana Supreme Court justice. His mother, Louise Thérèse La Carpentier, came from a prominent French Creole family. In their cultured household, chess and music were the highlights of Sunday gatherings. Sources differ on how young Paul learned chess. Some say he simply absorbed it by watching others play. His uncle Ernest recounted discovering the boy's talent when Paul pointed out a winning sequence in what the adults had deemed a drawn position. By 1846, at just 9 years old, Morphy was considered one of the best players in New Orleans. When General Winfield Scott, en route to the Mexican War, requested a chess match, he was initially offended at being offered a child as an opponent. His skepticism turned to amazement as Morphy defeated him twice, announcing a forced checkmate after only 6 moves in their second game. 4 years later, Hungarian master Johann Lowenthal visited New Orleans. The 12-year-old Morphy defeated him multiple times, with each brilliant move causing the master's eyebrows to raise in surprise. It was the first sign that this young American's talents could challenge Europe's best. After graduating with the highest honors from Spring Hill College with both a bachelor's and master's degree, Morphy earned his law degree from the University of Louisiana in 1857. Too young to practice law, he found himself with unexpected free time. Initially reluctant, Morphy was persuaded by family friend Judge Alexander Buford Meek to participate in the first American Chess Congress. The tournament featured America's strongest players, including formidable German master Louis Paulsen, who publicly predicted his own victory. Morphy's performance was unprecedented. In the knockout tournament, he defeated each opponent by large margins. His most notable victory came against Paulsen in the finals, where he won 5 games and drew only 2, while losing only 1. Even more remarkable was his speed. Multiple sources note that Paulsen would sometimes take 11 hours for his moves, while Morphy played almost instantaneously. The victory was absolute. Chess Monthly reported in December 1857 that despite his sudden fame, Morphy's gentle disposition, his unaffected modesty, and gentlemanly courtesy have endeared him to all his acquaintances. During his stay in New York that fall, he played 261 games, winning 87 of his regular matches, while drawing 8 and only losing 5. His reputation was growing. Morphy was recruited by Daniel Fisk to serve as co-editor of Chess Monthly, a position he would hold until 1860. He also founded the Chess Club of New Orleans, becoming its first president. But these American triumphs were just the beginning. Europe's chess masters awaited. Despite Morphy's American triumph, European opinion remained skeptical. The Illustrated London News declared that European champions shouldn't have to travel to America to play a young and relatively unknown player, suggesting instead that Morphy should come to Europe if he wishes to prove himself. The New Orleans Chess Club responded by issuing a direct challenge to Howard Staunton, Europe's champion. When Staunton insisted any match must take place in Europe, Morphy made the journey across the Atlantic determined to face the continent's best player. While Staunton repeatedly avoided the match, citing his work on Shakespeare and other commitments, Morphy faced other masters. He defeated Henry Bird and his old opponent Johann Lowenthal, winning 9 games against Lowenthal while losing 3 and drawing 2. With characteristic generosity, Morphy used his prize money to buy Lowenthal a suite of furniture. In Paris, despite suffering from a serious bout of gastroenteritis that required treatment with leeches, Morphy faced professional Daniel Horwitz. Even in his weakened state, he proved victorious. More impressively, he gave blindfolded simultaneous exhibitions, defeating 8 opponents at once while calling out all his moves from memory. His greatest European triumph came against Adolf Anderssen, considered by many to be the world's strongest player. Though still weak from illness, the 21-year-old Morphy won decisively. 7 victories against 2 losses and 2 draws. Anderssen admitted that Morphy was the stronger player, declaring him even greater than the famous French champion La Bourdonnais. During his triumphant European tour, Morphy was invited to a Paris opera performance by 2 aristocrats, the Duke of Brunswick and Count of Savoy. What transpired that evening would become known as the Opera Game, one of the most famous chess games ever played. Morphy played with the white pieces against 2 noblemen who consulted with each other to play the black pieces. The historical record shows this wasn't merely a casual game. It demonstrated Morphy's signature style of rapid development and tactical brilliance. As the opera progressed, Morphy crafted a tactical masterpiece. In just 17 moves, he delivered a stunning queen sacrifice to achieve checkmate. Later analysis would show that this game perfectly exemplified Morphy's revolutionary understanding of rapid piece development and control of the center. The game would become legendary not just for its brevity and brilliance, but as a testament to Morphy's casual mastery. While his opponents labored over their moves, reports suggest Morphy remained primarily focused on the opera performance, demonstrating the immense talent that earned him praise from Adolf Anderssen as someone who treated chess with the earnestness and dedication of an artist. In February 1858, the New Orleans Chess Club issued a bold challenge to Howard Staunton, offering a $5,000 stake, nearly $900,000 in today's money. Staunton responded through the Illustrated London News, suggesting that if Morphy wished to win his spurs among the chess chivalry of Europe, he must come to Europe himself. Against his family wishes, Morphy set sail for Europe in May 1858. His official reason was to participate in the Birmingham chess tournament, though his true aim was clear: to face Staunton. Upon arriving in England, he found the tournament delayed, but Staunton welcomed him cordially, even inviting him to his home in Streatham. What followed was a complex dance of delays and negotiations. Staunton requested a month to prepare, citing his work on a Shakespeare edition. Meanwhile, Morphy defeated other European masters, including Johann Lowenthal and Adolf Anderssen. As autumn approached, the match seemed increasingly unlikely. On October 16, 1858, Morphy issued an open letter to multiple publications, stating his position and revealing that his stake money had been ready for some time. Staunton responded 3 days later, definitively declining the match, citing his publishing commitments and stating that none but a madman would forfeit his engagements and imperil his professional reputation. The controversy reached Lord Lyttelton, president of the British Chess Association, who wrote that while Staunton was justified in declining the match due to his commitments, he might have told you of this long before he did. The match that could have defined an era never took place, leaving chess historians debating the true reasons for decades to come. By 1859, having defeated Europe's strongest players, Morphy returned to America as an unofficial world champion. Yet, rather than building on his chess success, he declared himself retired from the game and attempted to establish a law practice. The timing couldn't have been worse. The Civil War erupted in 1861, throwing Morphy's world into chaos. While his brother Edward immediately joined the Confederate Army, Morphy spent the war years between New Orleans, Havana, and Paris. His attempts to establish a law practice failed. His fame as a chess player seemed to overshadow his legal ambitions. Despite his family's wealth ensuring his financial security, a successful professional career remained elusive. By the 1870s, documented evidence showed concerning changes in Morphy's behavior. He became increasingly withdrawn and suspicious. In 1875, his family attempted to have him admitted to a Catholic sanitarium, but he argued so effectively for his rights and sanity that they were forced to abandon the effort. During his final years, Morphy maintained strict routines, taking regular walks through New Orleans. He became known for his peculiarities, refusing to eat unless the food was prepared by his mother or sister, and according to his niece Regina Morphy-Voité, insisting on arranging his shoes in a precise semicircle in his room. On July 10, 1884, at just 47 years old, Morphy was found dead in his bathtub. The autopsy revealed he had suffered a stroke brought on by entering cold water after a long walk in midday heat. A lifelong Catholic, he was buried in the family tomb at St. Louis Cemetery, leaving behind a legacy as both the pride and sorrow of chess. Bobby Fischer was unequivocal in his assessment. Morphy was perhaps the most accurate player who ever lived. He had complete sight of the board and never blundered, in spite of the fact that he played quite rapidly, rarely taking more than 5 minutes to decide a move. After their matches, Anderson declared Morphy the finest chess player who ever existed. The German champion marveled at his precision. In all his games with me, he has not only played, in every instance, the exact move, but the most exact. Garry Kasparov later highlighted Morphy's revolutionary grasp of 3 fundamental concepts: rapid development, domination of the center, and the creation of open files. While these ideas were not systematically articulated in Morphy's time, his intuitive application of them laid the groundwork for the principles that would be further explored and formalized by theorists like Wilhelm Steinitz in the decades that followed. World champion Viswanathan Anand and Max Uwe both declared Morphy's play far ahead of its time. Uwe described him as a chess genius in the most complete sense of the term. Even today, when computers analyze his most famous games, they confirm what his contemporaries knew, that in his brief career, Paul Morphy glimpsed the future of chess. Paul Morphy rose to fame in an era when chess was played in elegant cafes and opera houses, when games could last 11 hours, and when a brilliant combination would be discussed like a new artistic masterpiece. In just under 2 years of serious competition, from the American Chess Congress in 1857 to his European triumphs in 1858, he revolutionized chess understanding. A century and a half later, Morphy's legacy endures. The opera game, played casually at the Paris Opera, remains a textbook example of the power of rapid development and tactical brilliance. As Adolf Anderssen noted after facing him, Morphy approached chess not as mere entertainment, but as a problem worthy of his steel. Bobby Fischer's assessment still rings true. A popularly held theory about Paul Morphy is that if he returned to the chess world today and played our best contemporary players, he would come out as a loser. No, in such a match, Morphy would best anybody alive today. Morphy was probably the greatest genius of them all. In the grand scope of chess history, Morphy's competitive career lasted less than 2 years. Yet in that brief time, he glimpsed the principles that wouldn't be formally understood for decades. The pride and sorrow of chess left us not just games to study, but a vision of what chess could be.
Bobby kaže da je za njega Morphy najveći igrač u istoriji šaha. Morphy is the biggest player for your chess history.
Well, him and Steinitz I like.
On I Steinitz, Morphy I Steinitz. Pošto Bobby neobično voli Morphy kroz partije, how do you see Morphy through his games?
Oh, he was a brilliant player, fantastic player.
On je bio briljantan igrač, fantastičan igrač.